Hi everyone. Today I'm very happy to present a talk at Waltham High School to talk about my path to AI research in this paid talk. So here's a brief introduction to myself. My name is Peizhao Li. I'm currently a fourth-year PhD candidate at Brandeis University, majoring in computer science. My research interests include trustworthy and responsible artificial intelligence, machine learning fairness, and deep learning. Well, some students may be curious about what is artificial intelligence or what is machine learning. So I'm going to briefly explain this concept. So artificial intelligence is we try to transfer some natural intelligence that is displayed by human and animals to a computer or to a machines. That is, we want the machines to have the capacity to learn from data or learn from the past event and help us to do many future predictions and future decision makings. So that is all about the artificial intelligence to let the machines play well like a human beings. Well, as a PhD student in artificial intelligence or in computer science, many students may be curious about what is our daily life looks like. So the major goal for PhD student is to work on cutting edge technologies and improve existing cutting edge technologies. Well, our major work is we read a lot of papers. This paper just describe how other people think about the technology and what other people's work on this area, and we're gonna learn from their works. And then we probably can come up with some fancy and new and novel ideas. Then we try to turn it into the practice, into an algorithm or into a systems. We do a lot of coding and do a lot of experiments to demonstrate our idea is useful and it's good. And then if the experimental result are good enough, you're gonna write a paper to describe our idea and submit this paper manuscript to some conference journals, and hopefully this paper can be accepted. So that's how PhD student looks like in working in the AI area. So in the following, I'm gonna introduce my past, what kind of things lead me to the AI research. So I was born in Beijing, China, in 1997, and Beijing is the biggest city in China with a lot greater populations. I'm the only child in my family, and from when I was very young, like starting from elementary school, my parents took me to some extracurricular classes to study many math and English, and beginning from junior high school, I began to study physics in this extracurricular class. And actually, from the extra classes, I learned a lot of math, and I do very good in math in the school exam, but I didn't do well in many math competitions. And after that, I began to study in Beijing No. 2 High School from 2012 to 2015. Oh, this school is very beautiful, and it has a long history. It's like over 300 years of history. I remember when I lived this schools, the history reached to 294 years. So you know how I remember this number so exactly, because in this campus for every morning we have a regular broadcast, seeing that the school has a very long history, and the students should fully respect to this history and study really hard. So I know this. I remember this number very well. And in high school in China, student have different majors. Some student major in science, and some student major in liberal arts. For student majoring in science, they study Chinese, math, English, physics. Physics, chemistry, and biology. And for student majoring in liberal arts, they study also Chinese, English, math, and politics. Geography and history. So I'm a student majoring in science, and I at that time I do very well on math and physics. So slightly different between the education in China and the United States is that we have regular and frequent exams for all students, like per month or per 1.5 months. And after every exam, you're gonna receive a piece of paper saying that what's your grade for each subject and what's your ranking for each subject, and you get an overall ranking. among all the students, among all your peers. And actually the ranking goes to public. So you are suffering from many peer pressure and push you to study really hard. And during the high school, I had my first chance to get in touch with scientific research because I do pretty well in one exam. So I was selected to a research programs hosted in Tsinghua University. And Tsinghua University is the best university in China. And this program is a collaboration between many local high school and local university in Beijing. So there are many students with good grades selected to this research program. And I was there. I got in touch with a physics professor in Tsinghua University, studying a thing called carbon nanotube. And it's kind of like a material, a good material, and it can be used in many applications. And the professor is studying how we can improve the material to behave better. But to be honest, this research program made me really stressful at the time because I'm a high school student at the time. I don't know anything about the carbon nanotube. I don't know what it looks like and what it can be used for. So I had a few chances to talk with the professor, and but finally we got nothing from the research program, and the program is just ended with a simple report. So this is my first touch with scientific research, but actually no outcome. So after regional college entry exams, I went to Beijing University to do my undergrad study from 2015 to 2019. So Beijing University is also a very large university. I think they usually admit for 2,000 undergrad students for each year in over 20 or 30 majors. I was majoring in electronic and information engineering, and for the class of 2019 majoring in EE, we have over 200 students. I took many lessons in math, in physics, and in signal processing at Beijing University, and I also handle with numerous experiments. Beijing University is a school enforce students to study very hard, and actually we have exams every semester for different subjects, and the school will show you your GPA or weighted GPA and the ranking in within your department, and also this also makes me very stressful. Yeah. So in my junior year in Beijing University, I got in touch with my first independent research topics related to deep learning. And at that time, deep learning is a very hot topic. Many articles came out from internet saying that deep learning is a powerful technique that can help people to solve many problems. So I read the article at that time. I really get attracted by deep learning. So deep learning is actually belongs to artificial intelligence. It's used neural network. It's kind of machine learning model. It uses a neural network to simulate the behavior of human brains and allowing it to learn from a large amount of historical data. And we can use deep learning to do some future predictions and to predict some a future event or we recognize some items. So I mainly do deep learning with computer vision. So computer vision is we use computer to build vision systems that initially from humans. For example, if we input this kind of image into the computers, we hope the computer can recognize the object and give us more information about this image. For example, if we input this image, it's a cat. We want the computer to recognize, oh, this is a cat. And moreover, we want the computer to localize the cat, giving the 4 points of coordinates. And this is a cat. And moreover, it's a text is related to object detection. We want the computer system to localize each of the object in this image with a bounding box and accurately recognize the kind of item inside the bounding box. And the computer vision can also do many other fancy stuff like instant segmentations. They can segment the object out of the image and give us a boundary about one object. So my first research project is called facial alignment. It's also in a computer vision task. So we're trying to give the coordinates of the important landmarks in people's face. For example, we want to predict the localization of this point and this point in the eyes and the nose and in the mouth. So from the location of this point, we can analyze the emotions of the people's emotions. So my work is to use neural networks to accurately predict the localization of such key points and return the coordinates. And I work on fancy systems and improve the performance. And I turn it into a paper manuscript and submit it to an academic conference. And luckily, my paper got accepted by a conference, academic conference, and this brought me to the conference hosting in Hawaii in 2019. And it was my first time to attend an academic conference. I'm really excited about it and get really attracted to the environment. And during the conference, I accepted my PhD offer and decided to start my PhD at Brandeis University. So this is a picture for Brandeis campus, and this actually is the building where I worked on. My office is located in the first floor of this building. So different from the research topic conducting in an undergrad, my PhD research topic is related to machine learning fairness. So outside computer vision, machine learning can also do many fancy stuffs. Like they can help us to predict the stock price or the house price, or do advertisements. Like in TikTok, if you click some context, the system will recommend you with many similar contexts. So that's basically based on machine learning. Right. So machine learning is used to learn from some historical data in ordinary systems, and this is a learning in machine learning can help us to fit from historical data and help us to predict the future things we are interested in. But actually, some unregulated machine learning can raise many severe social concerns. I pasted 3 news articles over here for your reference. The first one is Amazon's AI recruiting tools show bias against women. When inside Amazon, they can use some recruiting tools with AI to predict the probabilities of a candidate that is he is suitable for a role, or he or she is suitable for a role. And these tools can show bias against women. That is, women is more likely to raise a lower score compared to male applicants. Well, the second one is the Apple cars investigate after gender discrimination complaints. That is, in the credit card applications, many financial service companies that use machine learning to predict how likely this applicant are qualifying for a credit card. But some companies have a gender discriminations, which means the female applicants with the same financial profile are more likely to not receive the credit card compared to a male applicant with a similar financial profile. And the third article is talking about the consumer leading discriminations in fintech. So if you want to move your eyes to the right figures, machine learning models can do many high-stake applications that need to fair predictions. That is, we use machine learning model to predict who is likely to commit another crime, who will see the ads for good housing, who will hear about the career opportunity in STEM, and who should be eligible for same-day delivery. So in all these applications, we do not want the machine learning system to show bias or discriminate against a certain group of people related to some legally protected attributes like gender, like race, like age. Or the machine learning model should not be discriminated against individuals. So my research goal is to try to develop some unified machine learning solutions to algorithmic fairness. That is, either from a model perspective, either from an optimization perspective, either from a data perspective. My goal is to redefine or regulate existing machine learning models not to show bias and try to give us fair predictions in terms of such sensitive attributes or in terms of certain individuals. The final goal is I want to let the machine learning solutions not to raise social concerns in a practical perspective. Well, that's all of my today's talk, and thanks for listening. Questions are welcome.